Greetings, everybody. I've talked about this in a video already that I had previously made, talking about how Thomas and horror, why does it go together so well? But I think now I want to showcase just how friggin' far fans can push the creepiness and disturbing characteristics in fan-made Thomas adaptations. Throughout this series of videos, it's going to be 13, appropriately numbered because 13 in some superstitious people means bad luck. So I'm going to be going through 13 different fan adaptations that all revolve around horror and darkness in Thomas adaptations. So how do we scale this? There's got to be some kind of unit of measurement for how scary, dark, and disturbing an adaptation can be. So I came up with this term for it. It's called Scariest, which is German for screaming. Whichever special gets a 50 out of 50 in terms of Scariest is crowned a victor with multiple bragging rights. And that's where we're at. So, how do we rate it in Scariest? Well, to get a 50 out of 50, you need 10 points all around 5 times. And that goes for cinematography, voice acting, narration, story, and world building. And there you go. So if you nail all 5 of those things, it's a perfect score, 50 out of 50. And you will have the biggest bragging rights on YouTube. Not that you really give a shit about my channel anyway, because I'm very tiny. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into the first entry in these 13 adaptations. And that is the half engine. Already the opening shot of this just builds the environment well. Especially James's voice actor. He's really good. Especially to hear him venting the frustration when he gets lost in the woods.
So, I hear there's going to be fog this evening. I shouldn't like to get lost in it, that's for sure. But I can't see a thing!
Neither can I, but we'll have to carry on.
And his fear, the fear in his voice that is expressed when he comes across the corpse of a tank engine that's been cut in half, as well as his driver and fireman's reactions to express their disgust at such a sight.
Disused.
James? Is everything alright? What kind of sick man would scrap an engine like that?
No idea.
Hi.
It's also important to notice these small Easter eggs in this scene where we could just barely see the half engine lurking in the fog in the background. I have one criticism with the dialogue in this adaptation, and it's how Thomas starts explaining the origin of the half engine. Just watch and I'll tell you what it is if you don't figure it out right away.
Well, many years ago, before the Fat Controller's Railway was the Fat Controller's Railway, there were several engines that were brought in to help run and maintain the railway.
Do you hear it? If not, let me explain. Was it absolutely necessary for Thomas to repeat the word railway 3 times in one opening sentence? Like, it sounds so strange. It doesn't make any sense at all. You don't need to use the same word 3 times over. It sounds kind of awkward in the delivery of the dialogue, and it doesn't really make a lot of sense. I think a more befitting and revised version of it would be like, well, many years ago, before the Fat Controller ran the railway, there was a lot of work to do, so several engines were brought in to help maintain it. See? You don't need to use the word railway 3 times in one opening sentence. It sounds awkward and sounds kind of clunky. So, yeah, that's the only gripe I have about the dialogue. When the engines react to what James had seen, all of them have unique tones to their voice. I think Gordon's voice actor is probably the best out of everybody here. Sounds like he's having fun while recording these lines, and he overall comes across as like the perfect voice fitting Gordon's personality and everything. But other than that, each voice actor complements each other in this scene, especially their reactions to what James had seen. It really feels natural. Like, it really feels like a real conversation.
If I didn't know better, which is quite rare, I'd say that poor little James has seen a ghost.
Well, I did see something.
What is it? Oh, does scary Jack Frost come back to pay you a visit?
I saw a scrap engine.
Of course, Gordon being Gordon, he calls bullshit and takes a late train one night, only to get held up at a signal. His driver, fireman, and brakeman walk up the line to the signal box to complain, leaving Gordon alone, and we get a really good laugh when Gordon starts thinking out loud to himself.
As time passed, Gordon began to feel more and more uneasy. The fog gave everything a creepy look, and it didn't help that Thomas's story had crept back into his mind.
Alright, Gordon, take it easy. Your crew will be back soon. You'll be on your way again, and before you know it, you'll be back in your nice, warm... Ah! Stupid bird! Go away!
That chuckle is short-lived, however, when we suddenly hear an unfamiliar scream. And I'll just let this whole thing play out.
No such thing as the half engine. There's no such... Hello? Whoever that is, this isn't funny. Knock it off.
Now that is a terrifying sight to see coming out of the dense fog, charging and screaming at you. Holy shit, is this fucking terrifying looking. Especially the face on the half-engine herself. Those skull-like teeth, the pale white eyes, the skull-like nose. Damn, just fucking damn, whoever modeled it is fucking amazing. But my only issue with this is the scream sound effect. Why, you might ask? Because it's the same stock scream used in the video game Slendy Tubbies, and a bunch of other memes that are hilarious, funny, to make it not be taken really seriously.
He's screaming really loud.
But other than that, this whole scene in general and how it plays out is fucking executed perfectly. It really fucking catches you off guard. I remember showing my wife this one night, and she was like, God damn, that's fucking scary looking. So, you have that. Gordon, though, got off lucky. He is spared his life. But his forward coach is cut clean in half. Gordon then returns to the sheds where him and Thomas briefly converse about his experience.
Thomas could tell that something was wrong.
You saw her, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
I did warn you, Gordon. I guess you can consider yourself lucky tonight. No one ever comes back from an encounter with her.
As the camera pans out to show Gordon deep in his thoughts, still awake late at night, there's some creepy singing in the atmosphere, and we catch a glimpse of the half-engine spirit on the sidings before we come to the end of the story, and it fades to black.
He could be thankful for, however, it would be that the half-engine didn't claim him as her newest victim. What's
the overall rating and shrines that we have for this? Well, Cinematography wise, it's a 10. The world building and the characters are solid. The atmosphere it creates, the sound effects are awesome. The voice actors really complement each other. But I'm gonna have to give the voice acting a solid 9 because of the few strange sounding lines that we've gotten from Thomas when he explains the origin of the half engine. There's a couple of lines that he says, and I'm not disrespecting the voice actor of Thomas alone, but there's just some moments where it sounds a bit awkward and it's not exactly natural sounding. But visuals, sound effects, and music, valid 10. The suspense and the atmosphere that it creates are amazing. Narration, unfortunately, I gotta give it a 9. It sounds a bit rushed and the recording is a bit off, probably with the microphone, with whatever the narrator was using. And sometimes it sounds just like you're in a hurry to get the lines out and over and done with. It's like, just slow down, you know. Let us revel in the fucking delivery. You know, that's something there. So what we have for Strians here is 3 10s and 2 9s. That makes it a 48 out of 50. And that puts it in the S tier category, meaning it's an all-around good adaptation, and I absolutely love it. But it's not a perfect score, 50 out of 50. But other than that, it's a great adaptation. I will link it down below because it is a awesome watch for any of you guys. And tune into the next video because we're going to be talking about A Spirited Journey. Thank you guys for watching.